Hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am so excited to share with you just some information on how we are capturing this wellness revolution and how we are using it in our salons and spas in order to boost our income and just elevate the whole experience for everyone involved. So let's dive right in. My name is Selena. I have been in the hair industry for over 23 years, and I've kind of done a little bit of everything. So I started out as a salon manager. I managed two salons from a corporate chain, and I loved that very much. After many years of doing that, I actually ended up working at home. Then I worked I had my own salon studio, and now I'm a booth rental. So I've kind of done a little bit of everything, and I love them all. So I'm grateful that I am still able to do my job. So what I want to share with you though is how I really got started in integrating the wellness into my salon business and why this is so important for me to share this with you, really. So 10, 11 years ago, I had three young children. My son is middle child, and he actually had what they call a winter's cough. So he really he coughed a lot, but he coughed so much that it disrupted the class at school. He was in second grade or so, and just 7 years old and really having a hard time. It mainly affected him sleeping, so it did affect the school day, but it really would keep everybody awake at night, keep me awake at night, and I felt really bad for him because he couldn't sleep very well. So we ended up taking him to the doctor, and they said, "Oh, just give him albuterol. And as the seasons change, it'll get better. It'll go away." So they gave us a breathing machine and little vials of albuterol. And if you've ever used a breathing machine, you know that the you put the albuterol, it's a liquid, and you put it in a little tray. I'm not even sure the technical words, but you have to put this like hose in your mouth and you inhale this vapor, and it takes about 20 minutes. So imagine a little 7-year-old boy coughing, trying to hold this thing in his mouth, and it took about 20 minutes. And it just it wasn't ideal, right? He hated doing it. And the kicker was that it didn't really work. And the doctors were like, "Oh, you can do it just whenever, all the time." Just, you know, they didn't really give us any like guidelines on how much was too much. Like, yeah, it'll make his coughing go away. Um, it didn't really very much. And so we did these treatments, and I just remember thinking like, gosh, there just has to be a better way because he was still going to school. He was getting sent home from school, so I was having to leave the salon and go home and take care of him. I would have to get other people to run the salon because this is when I was still running the salons and as a manager, and I would have to get other people to come in, and it was just interfering with his life as a little kid. It was interfering with his school days, and unfortunately, it was taking me out of work. And so that wasn't working, right? That wasn't working very well. So we were really trying anything. We were very desperate. I tried Diamond Tap, and I tried hot toddies and Benadryl, whatever we could find, we would try it, and it just really wasn't working. So we did the albuterol, and I wanted to know how it felt, right? And so one of the days that he was at school, I just, had some in the little container, and I did it, and I only did it for like 5 minutes because I was like, well, I don't really need this. Um, so I kid you not. After doing that breathing treatment for like 5 minutes, I went grocery shopping, didn't really think anything of it. And at the grocery store, I remember this was 11 years ago, and I remember walking down the aisle, just my nervous system was shaking so badly. And I could not imagine my little 7-year-old going to trying to go to sleep like this, trying to be at school like this, because we would make sure that we did it right before he went to school so he wouldn't be coughing while he was at school. And I I immediately felt so bad. So I was devastated that this was like the only option. Like this was such a horrible option. I could not believe that this was what we had to do. And right about that time, a good friend of mine had been using some essential oils and invited me to like this mom gathering class. And we learned about essential oils and how to use them for different wellness and how these were 100% pure, therapeutic grade, tested essential oils that could be used for wellness. And I was like, okay, well, I've tried all these other things. Like, I need to try something else because this stuff is not working for us. And so, I got my little starter kit box and I put, lemon, lavender, and peppermint was the concoction that I had been advised to put into this diffuser. And I put it in the diffuser, and I kid you not, after a few minutes of this being in the diffuser and into the air in my son's bedroom at night, he stopped coughing. He stopped coughing and he fell asleep. So I was able to go to sleep and I slept for about 4 hours. And in about 4 hours, he started coughing again. I could hear him from his bedroom. So I go into his room and I realize the diffuser only ran for 4 hours. It ran out of time. And so it turned off automatically and he started coughing again. So I refilled it. I put the lemon, lavender, and peppermint back in the diffuser again. And within a minute or so, he stopped coughing. And it was at that point that I knew that I had to share this with everybody, the whole world, if I could. And I didn't want any mom to have to suffer for losing time at school for my son, losing time at work for myself, and just having my son feel so um, uncomfortable and the chest pains and the throat and everything. We had finally found a solution and I wanted everybody to know about it. So that's really how like I got started, and I use these essential oils for everything in my home. Um, any kind of mood. I had a lot of stress going on at the time with a lot of family issues going on. And so I learned how to use all the essential oils for emotions, every ailment that came up. I had them in the diffuser. I was rolling them on my kids' feet and their back. And, I was using them internally because these, again, are 100% pure. So you can use these internally. And they were just working. And so I just started sharing organically behind the chair, telling stories to my clients. Everyone was getting interested. Everyone was making these shifts, these changes, making these purchases, and I just was seeing great results, and everybody was seeing great results, and it was such an amazing moment. And then kind of like the bottom dropped out of my life a little bit, and I became a single mom. And at that time, I was working at home. At that time, then I had stopped working for the salons, and I had to find a new place to work because I was losing my home, and therefore I was losing the place where I was working. And so that's how I shifted into the salon studios. And it was really at that point that I needed to make more money. I needed to be able to be home with my kids. And um, these essential oils and these products really were a gateway for me to earn some more income without having to add more hours to my day, to my ch behind the chair. So just the a little bit of the burden was lifted off of me of having to work those long hours. So that's kind of that's where I come that's where I'm coming from. And it's worked for me so well. And I just want to paint this vision for you so that you can see how incredible this could be for you as well. And I'm here to show you that there is a way to earn more money without adding more hours behind the chair. So let's get into a little bit more information. So I kind of talked about the whole like time and money situation that I was in. So we think about burnout. Well, burnout's not just physical, right? So a lot of times it can also be income burnout. Our schedule can be burnt out. So we've all dealt with the aches and pains of our career, right? We've got the leg pains, the back pains, the shoulders. I actually suffered from tennis elbow, and it was the scariest moment in my life because I, you can't blow dry hair when you're in severe pain. I couldn't hardly hold up the hair, do elevated haircuts. So I was like, what am I going to do? Like, this could be the end of my career. So, of course, I turned to my toolbox of essential oils and I did go to physical therapy because there is a time and place for doctors. And I realized that. So, that helped. But every day I was using my deep blue stick on my elbows. And I keep it now in my station because now I have got like thumb pains. And so, like, the physical burnout is real. And we all, if you haven't gotten there yet, something will, right? If it's not our feet, it's our back, it's our shoulders, all this. Like our job is very strenuous. And a lot of times we're told, like, oh, it just comes with the territory, right? It's just a part of your job. You just have to work through it. Well, yes, we do have to work through it. That's 100% true. I have found ways to work through it without the pain, though. These products are amazing to give yourself the energy, the mobility that you need to keep going. And that allows you to be behind the chair and it allows you to continue doing what you love. Now, the income ceiling, that's another burnout, right? I personally had a schedule burnout. I have got a picture here of me and my three kids. This is how old they were when I had that divorce, right? When I became a single mom, I had three young kids that I had to be home for. I did not have the ability to put them into daycare, and that would take away from all the money that I was just creating, right? And so I needed to be able to work full time in a part-time schedule because now I was home with my kids when I had them in that new parenting plan. So my schedule wasn't necessarily booked Monday through Friday from, 8 to 8 or whatever the working hours are, but I did not have more hours to give. So I was maxed out in time. And you all know if we are not behind the chair, we are not making money. So this became a really big problem for me. So learning about these essential oils opened up that door. It really opened up my earning potential, so that I didn't have to be behind the chair, but yet I was still earning money. Um, and we are talking about a product here, so I want you to just know that we are not talking about retail. This is not retail sales. We are shifting from retail sales to education and empowering, sorry. We have to shift the mind. Now, I've got nothing against retail. I absolutely love selling retail, and that's what I did primarily when I was running the salons. It was a like 80-20, 80% retail in the front, 20% hair in the back, and it was great. I loved it. But if you know anything about retail, you're probably not going to get rich on your retail, right? It's an added bonus. It's an upsell, right? And we're taught that that's really the key to making more money. is that retail. So that's the old model that I want, if you've got a wonderful retail section going, that's great. I'm not asking you or telling you that we need to add to that. This is a completely different model. Okay. So shut off the retail model. We are not talking about stocking inventory on shelves. No more are we talking about this is not going to add more overhead to your costs. You're not going to have to worry about the sales transactions. You're not going to worry about paying taxes on any of these products, and reporting those to your local departments. What this is educating, and we are solution providers, right? So we're behind the chair, everybody's talking, they're telling their stories. We are usually verbally giving advice, anyways, right? So, what if you had a solution for every problem that your client talks about, not just hair? Right? Because we're not necessarily always talking about hair. There's a time in the appointment that we're talking about hair. There's a time if you're a nail tech that you're talking about the nails, but they're talking about life, right? They're talking about emotions. They're talking about aches and pains. They're talking about their weight journey, right? Like they're talking about all these different things. We have solutions with zero inventory. So this is the amazing switch. You no longer have to worry about any kind of inventory on the shelf because if it's a little bit of a guessing game, right? Like we put products on our shelves hoping that somebody buys them, right? This isn't the way that it's going to be. They actually end up opening up their own wholesale membership for zero cost to them, and it's good for an entire year. You've got zero inventory. The products that they purchase is drop shipped directly to them, and all they have to do is log in to this free membership. And that is how you actually leverage your residual income. You are spending time with these people. You are actually having these conversations already. It's the clientele that's already sitting in your chair. We are just elevating the environment and allowing those solutions to be presented to them right during the hair service or the nail service or the massage service, whatever kind of beauty industry that you're in. There's a way to have these products available right to them. So these are just our foundations to success. So it's all about wellness, right? The wellness industry is oh gosh, let me see. Sorry, I have it written down. The numbers are so big. The it's a 6.8 trillion dollar industry that the wellness industry is right now. People are buying into wellness. Everybody is wanting to be on the latest wellness trend, right? It's predicted to be a $9.8 trillion industry by 2029. Okay, so it is growing, it is escalating, and we are here to ride that wave. And it's it really starts with you, right? It starts with you, it starts with the environment. When people come into your salon, we want them to feel refreshed and feel rejuvenated, especially by, right? Like when we're sending them out into the world, they're looking beautiful. Don't we want them to feel beautiful as well? Feel healthier, look healthier. The transformation starts right at the front door. And really, it starts with you. So we're creating healthier people, a healthier work environment altogether. And all of that happens through intentional wellness practices that I'm going to teach you. So everything is an experience. We're elevating the whole spot experience. So every interaction, whether it's with your clients or with other professionals in the salon or spa, or even other businesses. Yes, other businesses. This is a community type model. This is not a competitive model. A lot of times in this industry, we're very sacred and we want to keep our clientele secure. And I totally understand that. we are branching out of that. We are changing that scenario and we are able to reach across the aisle where we can support others instead of being in competition with them. And everybody grows. Everyone is growing. We are creating sustainable opportunities for not only your personal growth, but also your professional growth. You're adding to your skill set. And when you do that, you also grow financially. It is a beautiful thing. So how does this happen? What does this look like? Real quick, you can Google all the different ways how you can incorporate essential oils into your business. So I'm not going to go through a whole bunch of those kind of things, but let's just imagine, let's just envision what this could look like, okay? So we've got hospitality, right? Maybe you have a receptionist. Maybe you are the receptionist. Whatever it is, when somebody comes in, I know here in Arizona, we offer people water, right? We offer them a water. So instead of just a water, right? People normally have tumblers. Pour that water into their tumbler and add a few drops of lemon or orange citrus oils into there because again, the essential oils that we're talking about here are 100% pure and they can be ingested. I'm not talking about every essential oil on the market, so don't get me wrong. I'm only referring to doTERRA's essential oils here. Okay, so we've got a whole collection of different essential oils that can be used in the water. Maybe you want to spruce up a coffee. Maybe you want to dabble in making a chai tea for people. I know how to do that. I have recipes for that too. It's amazing. So um, while they're waiting in the waiting area, maybe you put a few drops of peppermint or wild orange in their hands so that they can get invigorated while they're even just sitting in the waiting area. So right when they come in, they're getting pampered with this new elevated experience. I always make sure that a diffuser is going so that they are getting that spa-like aroma in the air as well. And so again, with shifting that retail mindset, so we still have products out, but they're not for sale. They are for using, right? And so I'm making my purchases every month. You'll be making your purchases every month, and those products are used for myself so that I can be a testimony of the products that I'm using, just like we do with our hair products, right? We have to try it before we can sell it. And so on the station, we have a little tester bar, which is so much fun. And they can be smelling products, they can be trying things. And so everybody is curious, and it just invites organic questions to be asked about the products. What can I do with this? It sparks up that conversation. And the third part is having those digital assets and guides nearby. I always keep, I have reference books in my station that I keep. So when anybody says anything, have an issue, I pull out that book and I put it in their hands. Okay, Susie Q, open up the book to, you've got a headache right now. Let's see, what does the book say about a headache? So they open up the book and they read it and they see how simple it is. Oh, it says peppermint is the number one thing for headache. So we grab a peppermint off of the tester station and they can be using these products while they're in your chair. It takes no additional energy for you to be utilizing these tools right then and there. It's amazing. So we've got so many different tools. We actually have an amazing wellness scan that I like to offer that is a wonderful tool if people are not sure what could be going on, if they're curious about just learning more about themselves. And it's a great connection to have some first steps for each client. Now, how do we actually use them with our services? Again, like we could just, you can Google a whole ton of different ways that you can use them in your salon. So these are just a few off the top that are easy to imagine, right? We know that peppermint and rosemary are great for hair growth and stimulation. And so at the shampoo bowl, you just keep the peppermint and rosemary on the back bar there so that you can just put a few dabs in your hand. Maybe you mix it into the shampoo and you get that going in the shampoo. We actually have an amazing shampoo and conditioner collection that I love that I use. So a lot of times instead of adding it to the shampoo, I'll when the conditioner is setting, because I use a conditioning treatment um after a color service, I'll actually use maybe a lavender or something like on their neck and do a little like neck massage like under their hair while their conditioner is setting. So however you can get it incorporated into your service is amazing. Now, by incorporating it into the service, you have a choice. You can make that an upsell, or it could just be an elevated add-on service that you don't even charge for. It's completely up to you because it's your business. Um, a hot towel. Maybe you're doing the straight razors and you want to add a little lavender or eucalyptus to the hot towel. Maybe you're doing pedicures or manicures and you're using some kind of towels. Even the facials. I've worked with estheticians that are using these products, and it just helps to elevate the whole atmosphere and it elevates the entire service. It's amazing to help relax the client and invigorate the whole environment. It smells wonderful. Everything always ends up smelling like so good, and the clients always comment like, "Oh, it just smells so good in here." So I love to hear that. Aroma Touch is actually a integrated clinical grade essential oil process that we apply to the back and the bottoms of the feet. You can also do a shorter version to the hands or the neck um, that help with just overall body wellness. And that is actually a separate certification that is available to everybody. It's incredible. So depending on the type of spa or clinic that you work in, that could be something that you could actually offer as a service as well, a paid service. So you can see there's like sky is the limit with these products. Just in getting them incorporated into your salon and spa will change the whole atmosphere. It's wonderful. Now, a lot of you might be wondering, how do I learn all this stuff? Well, besides just those guides that I was saying, um, that's the wonderful thing about purchasing this way through me. You actually, when you're working with me, I am now your wellness advocate. When you purchase through, say, the drugstore or CVS or someplace like that, Amazon, you're not going to get a wellness advocate coaching you and training you and supporting you and being there with you by your side. So this is what I do. I love doing in-salon workshops. We could do like healthy hair nights. We could have like wellness Wednesdays. And so the education is definitely for you and your spa, depending on if you are an independent owner or if you are a big salon owner, if you're a stylist. The education is for you definitely so that you know how to talk to your clients, but we want to get the clients involved too. We want to educate your clients. That's where the community comes together, is that the education isn't just for you. We can cater it to you so that you know how to use it in the salon, but we want to educate your clients as well. And so there's also virtual education. We utilize the Zoom or even social media to reach our clients so that they can stay home and we can still educate them. And then of course, how do we educate through the community? We have different open houses. We can put on different open houses at your local salon, however it feels natural that it's going to like work best with your environments. That's what we will do so that we are collaborating together. And then um, again, this is really a multiplication type model. This isn't just you alone, right? We are reaching across the aisle to grow exponentially, really. So this is a shared concept that we'll be able to share with the entire salon. If you're a salon owner, we'll be able to share that with your stylist and other spa owners. So it's not just to stay a little secret. This is to be spread and grow so that we can help elevate other salons as well. And it could even cross over into other industries as well. And this is how we really leverage this income. So when you start sharing with other salons and other stylists, this is when finally your time and how much you get paid are no longer directly tied together. This is what it means to actually have that true time freedom. When you're building a team that supports one another, you're creating a sustainable stream of income that flows beyond your time behind the chair. And when others succeed, we all are able to pour from a cup of abundance. I absolutely love it. And just a little bit of a few numbers just to show you. These are some of our leadership numbers here that are shown on the screen here, financial potential. We have different ranks, and some of our top paying ranks are platinum, that is a average income of $10,000 a month. One of our diamond ranks, those are anywhere from $17,000 to $18,000 a month. So who could not handle having another $10,000 to $18,000 a month? I think I could handle that, right? That would be amazing. Just imagine what kind of freedom that would give you if you had an extra $10,000 a month. It gives you the ability to choose whether you want to continue having more hours behind the chair. That's wonderful. Maybe you're trying to find an exit strategy. Maybe you're getting to the end and you really want to retire, right? This would be a wonderful way to transition. It really allows you to create a leveraged income stream so that you can be more present with the people that you love the most, right? With your family, and you're able to shift your schedule a little bit more so that you have that time freedom. And when we have financial freedom, we can just serve better. We can come from a cup of a serve from a cup of abundance that is full, and we are able to serve our community and our clients more freely when we're not so concerned about the money that we're making. It helps us to have a new renewed passion and purpose for what we're really doing. So, what are the next steps now? We there's going to be some of you that are like, yeah, I'm in. Let's do this. I want it. I need it. Um that's great. There will be a QR code on the next screen and we will get you hooked up right away. Some of you might have some more questions and you might want um to go through um a mapping and a strategy plan. So we can answer any questions and do a little mapping session. So what we can do is a mapping session and we'll just figure out what is going to be the best route for you. Even if you're like, yes, I want in, we're still going to do that mapping session. So we'll just be able to personalize how this is going to fit in your life in the best possible way. So once we figure out the strategy, we'll get you your enrollment kit. We've got some amazing kits that will fit the industry that are awesome. And doTERRA puts together kits for a discounted price. So you always want to buy from a kit. And then that way we can see what's going to fit your salon or your clientele, however that's going to look for you. And then really, once you get that package, you just start small, right? Get that tester station set up like I had talked about and just start sparking that curiosity. Use the products yourself and you just start sharing naturally. So thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate your time, and I am looking forward to partnering with you in this adventure. And go ahead and scan this QR code, and you will be able to, this will take you directly to a discovery call so that we can get you started. All right. Thank you so much and have a great day.